2017, all short tenor securities had the attention of investors yesterday or Thursday as a result of the public holiday that we have. Total deals is 671, while the value of all that was traded is 174.71 billion naira, and that's as far as the treasury bills market goes on the FMDQ OTC. Now the equities market, the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The bourse continued bearish as the twin market performance measures, NSE All-Share Index and the market capitalization dropped week on week by 312 basis points each to close at 35,504.62 points and 12.24 trillion naira in terms of market cap, and that's respectively. On a year-to-date basis, the NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization increased 3,211 basis points and 3,234 basis points each. Now, for the sectorial analysis, we see the NSE Banking Index, the Consumer Goods Index, as well as the Industrial Index, underperforming, losing 236 basis points for the Banking Index, 288 basis points for the Consumer Goods Index, while the industrial sector fell by 248 basis points to those numbers you see corresponding to each other on the screen right there. On the other hand, the NSE Insurance Index and the NSE Oil and Gas that even had low sentiment from investors, increased ironically by 29 basis points. That's the oil and gas sector, and 190 basis points for the insurance sector that seem to now be gathering attention from investors following a meeting and partnership that emerged between the NSE and NICOM last week. Now, let's remind you that the month of August has ended, and of course, we know how the market started off the month of August bullish, but ended bearish, crashing by 0.96%, almost 1%. Of course, the market has to continue after the holiday. But joining us now to discuss the movement of the indices in the market is the head of Research and Strategy at FSDH Merchant Bank, Mr. Ayodele Akinwumi, regular on the program. Thanks again for coming through, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. So let's look at the equities side. I know you deal a lot more with fixed income, but again, the fact that you're a researcher gives us the privilege to actually get your perspectives on equities. Talk to us now about how the market was able to start off bullish and ended bearish in the month of August, 0.96% negative.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
I think the performance that the market recorded in the month of August was in line with our expectation. On the July 31st, we issued a report which we titled, "Is the Rally in the Equities Market Sustainable?" And we looked at the performance of the equities market from January through July, and as at that time, the data that was available for us then was as at 26th of July. And we noted that the equities market had recorded about 37% year to date as of that period. And we looked at we compared that performance with the performance of about 15 different stock exchanges, stock markets around the world. Ghana was number 2, about 34% performance. We looked at the trading P ratios, price to earnings ratio of about 10 highly capitalized stocks. And we realized that they were trading at about 10 and 3-year high. And then we concluded that even though the macroeconomic development in the country had actually impacted the equities market that started from March through July, we will expect that there will be some element of profit taking in the month of August. And that was exactly what happened. And the market closed month on month for the first time since March this year at 0.95%. Going forward, we expect the same trend, the lull we have in the market, to continue in the next few weeks. Historically, the market usually trade lower in third quarter of the year. And again, the fact that there have been a lot of appreciation on account of what I mentioned earlier, macroeconomic development, investors, exporters, foreign exchange window that Central Bank created, which has attracted a lot of foreign, portfolio investors, investment into the country, development in the macroeconomic environment, positive confidence in the economy. So, but we expect that there would likely be some little a lull in the market in the next few weeks until towards the end of the month, whereby there will be some little appreciation.
Over time, I've come to realize that this lull is synonymous with the third quarter of the year. I wonder why that is the reason. But given what you've said now and the numbers available to us, the sectoral indices for the period, for the month of August shows out of the 11 sectors that the Nigerian Stock Exchange has, there are only 3 sectors that moved positively: consumer goods sector, and the main board, as well as the NSE 30. So with what you've said now, does it mean it's totally going to be bleak for investors in the month of September and the third quarter till the end?
No, it may not be. Like I mentioned, it's not good for the market to be one-directional.
Okay. As
people take profit, investors take profit. I mean, as at July, the number of stocks, Stanbic, IBTC, Meyer & Baker, Fitson, UBA, had recorded over 100% return year to date. Right. So it was just natural that there would be some element of profit taking. And like I mentioned, as some investors take profit in the market, we expect that some other investors will come in. And again, you realize that the earnings season seems to have been, is over. Yeah. So there is no result that we actually boost the market in the month of September. But depending on what happens, I mean, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics is going to release the Q2 GDP number on 5th of September. Right. Analysts, investors will look at that number and they will be able to take position about, and so is this going to be, are we now out of recession
or not?
And to enable them look at what will happen towards the end of the year.
All right. We'll quickly take a break now. And of course, after the program, after this break, we'll come back with what the future basically holds for the Nigerian Treasury bills markets.